In this cemetery are buried several, and I'm looking around now, several veterans of a war that they rather had not had to take part of. Now, this is not a political channel, and this is not a political statement. What I'm looking at is a bunch of flags put out to honor the Confederate veterans. Now, before anybody gets upset at me, I'm going to tell you right now, the higher up politicians may have seceded from the Union over slavery, among other things. But the average man that went into battle went because the South was being invaded. All you have to do is know your history and know the South was being invaded. The battles, where did they take place? In the South. The South did not go up north. The North came to the South. It was northern invasion. Now, you can say it was for a just cause. I'm not arguing that point. But the fact of the matter is, the North invaded the South, and what brought this whole video on, it's windy, I hope you can hear me, I know it muffles the sound, is I just happened to be in the cemetery riding around and realized that the sons of the Confederate veterans must have been out here very recently and put flags out on every Confederate veteran's tombstone. Now, I'm not sure what you can see, but straight down here, if I'm not in the way, I see two. Straight down through there, I just see them kind of going through the cemetery. Some there, some there. These are not Confederate battle flags, by the way. These are not the Confederate battle flag that you might be looking for. Now over here, I'm going to walk a little bit. I want to show you over here. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Yep, right there. Okay, right there. Flags like that. Oops, sorry about that. Flags like that. There are several of them flying around. And then right here, we actually have the Confederate Veterans Memorial, which they've come out here and they've placed these stones. I believe these stones were in the ground, like laying down flat, and they set them back up. That would be these right here. Looks like a little graveyard within a graveyard. Most of these are very scant on information. All they have is the name, but there are two here that I think are actual burial stones, and I'm going to show them to you. I know you can't read the writing on it, so I'm going to read it to you. Gabriel C Jones was born September 16th, 1821, and died September 22nd, 1864. And I'm going to do a little research and find out, did he die in battle or how he died, if I could even find out. He was a member of the Company G of the 24th Regiment, South Carolina, in the Army of the Confederate States. Now see, this is what we got to pay attention to. This is affectionately dedicated by his bereaved widow. This is not supposed to be a glorious stone of Confederate glorious conquest. This is put up by his widow. And my point here is most of the Confederate memorials that you see like in towns and cities that everybody wants to burn down, take down, they were put up by widows and daughters and orphans to mourn their dead. It really wasn't a thing about the glorious Confederacy. Now the other stone, Lieutenant Pan Pear, killed at Dingle's Mill. Dingle's Mill was a battle that took place just outside of town, about 3 miles. Dingle's Mill, South Carolina, April 9th, 1865. Look up your history and see what that means, April 9th, 1865. Pan Pear is an interesting person to me because, according to the newspaper, when he got killed, they buried him in a Catholic graveyard. The Catholic graveyard was moved about 40 years later, and I can't find any evidence of him in the new Catholic graveyard. So I'm assuming at some point he was moved here, even though I have no concrete evidence of this. He was a Cajun from Louisiana and happened to be in the hospital here when the North started to invade. Remember, I told you they were invaders. They're way down in South Carolina. Started to invade with thousands of troops, and they were met with, I think, around 100 150, I forget the exact number now. Volunteers mainly, some Confederate soldiers, mostly at home because of injuries. That he went courageously to fight these invaders from the north and lost his life doing it. All these other stones that are in this memorial, they're just there for memorials. They have the name but no details. I think these were just put up. Well, I don't know why these in particular. I've been told these are all people that died in the Battle of Dingle's Mill, but I'm not sure I believe that because that other stone back there was about a year before then. So I'm not sure I believe that, but these are just general stones. Again, you can see the several flags that are flying. This is I just kind of turned the camera and took a few steps. You know, it seems like that someone told me there are over 200 Confederate veterans buried here. I might be way off on the number. I'm not sure, but that sounds about right. Here's one. John Smith Richardson. He was in the Confederate War. Says that he was a congressman. He was a member of the South Carolina legislature and then a congressman. I own a pest control company, and this is not an advertisement for that. But to honor these ferocious fighters who are just trying to defend their own homelands, I'm going to, I noticed there's some ants in there, so I'm going to get rid of the ants. Well, if you can see it, those big fire ants, they're carrying bait that I put down. Right there, it looks like little potato chips. They're bringing it to mama. Of the 15 Confederate Medal of Honor winners all across the Confederacy, three are in this cemetery. There's only 15 total and 3 are right here. Pan Pear, who I just showed you earlier, and then this gentleman here. Lieutenant William Alexander Mcqueen. And just in short, he was also at the Battle of Dingle's Mill. He also was killed there. If I remember the story correctly, he took a cannon to the shoulder. That'll take you out real quick. This guy was in several huge battles, big battles where thousands and thousands and thousands of people were killed. And he was injured a few times. As a matter of fact, he was back home recovering from injuries when the invaders from the north were threatening, and he went out to fight them, and that's how he died. Now, being a true Presbyterian, obviously he believed in predestination, and when it's your time to die, it's your time to die. Think about that. All them thousands of people died in that battle, those battles, and he didn't die. But on this one, where I think 26 people died, he died. More flags. One there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see this over here? 5, 6. Like I said, it seems like I was told there's over 200 Confederate veterans buried here. Pressed into war. Very poor people. They didn't own no slaves. They didn't own any slaves at all. They may have been dependent on the system, but you can't help what system you're born into. I honor these gentlemen. I really do. I really do. I don't hold any disdain for the North. Well, maybe the politicians. Then again, I hate all politicians. We have the Garden brothers. 3 of them in a row. 2 were officers and 1 was an NCO. The one on the end was an NCO, and he died in 1863. I'm gonna assume he was killed in the Civil War. These 2, they outlived that war. I might try and do a story on him, or at least get some more information. We'll see how much time I have. And more. I think I'm just gonna do a little pan shot here. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for now. I just wanna say, if this video offended you, I would say I'm sorry, but really I'm not. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I just know history. Now, I'm sorry you're sorry, but I'm not sorry for this video. It was a rough time back then for everybody involved. Thankfully, slaves were set free. That cost about 600,000 lives. I think they would have been set free eventually anyway, because that's the way things were going, but yeah, they needed to be set free. I'm not arguing that point. By the way, most Union soldiers said that they didn't know they were going to set slaves free, or they would have stayed home. They said they thought they were trying to get the Union back together. You know, kind of like the British when they sent troops over the Revolutionary War. You know, they did that to keep the Union together. It was okay then, but not okay in the 1860s, apparently.
Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.